Vacate your home, I come to break your bones. America's nightmare, we at it again.
Hey, yo, what's up? You know who this is? It's Young Buck. Cashville, Tennessee in the building. Make sure you put a motherfucking $sign on the S2 when you spell it. You heard me? Young Buck, G-Unit in the building. Blow, what up? Holla back. The first thing you think of when you say my city, Nashville, Tennessee, I think is country music. When you get there, you realize that the hip-hop scene overshadows all that. That's why you hear me say Cashville, you understand, other than Nashville. That's why you hear me say Tennessee other than Tennessee. I come from the hood, man. It's a hood everywhere and all over the world. I feel like there's no hood no harder than mine. Therefore, if you're from a ghetto or any part of any low-income piece of the world, you're going to relate to Young Buck. Growing up for me was hard, man. I come from a family where my father's a crack fiend. My mother did whatever she could do to take care of us, you understand? And she ended up having custody of her sister kids. Her sister's a crack fiend. So from day one, I immediately became the man of my house. It really wasn't no childhood for Young Buck. It really ain't been no childhood for Young Buck, period. When you put in a position where you kind of like got to provide for your family, and you kind of like the man of your situation at a young age, really ain't too many games to be played. I'm 23 years old. 23 years old, man. Streets made me the way I am. First project I ever did was called Thugger to the End. I had bad experiences. My first move was my worst move, you understand? So through the grace of God, I come out of that contract. From there, I end up bumping into Baby around the age of 17. When Baby first words to me was spit something. I did my thing to the point where we left a situation on some, yo, man, you tight with yours. But a couple days later, I'm getting a call from my homie Lil Jimmy saying, yo, Baby said he wants you to come get down with Cash Money. Let's see what's up. I'm like, yeah, for real, let's go. I'm 17 years old, been in the streets my whole life, illegal for real. So I was always looking for opportunity. I seen opportunity, I took it. I was supposed to be in school at the time. I dropped out of school. I left school and went straight to New Orleans. In 2 years of my life, I hung up under Baby, kind of like back and forth. Out of those years, I mean, they progress was happening. You never even heard me on a project. Time passed and I'm watching all this success and not seeing nothing happen for me. It became a time where I was like, this shit ain't gonna work for me. So I said, fuck it, back in the streets. You know, it's 2 years gone. So you just kind of start all over. Doing whatever I did to make $1 and shit.
Me and Priest had the streets on lock. He break down the blocks. I open up shop around the clock.
And out of my ordeal back in the streets, I ended up getting shot in a home invasion and a robbery. One in the arm and one in the upper thigh area. It was enough for me to wake up and really realize that, yo, if this shit keep going on like this, I'm either get killed or I'm gonna go to jail. And I really realized that because I was getting down for real. I don't know how people get down around the world, but I was getting down.
These niggas want me dead.
Better watch your step.
Put prices on my head.
The cock my shit.
Really started to devote more of my time to the music then, the studio, period. And I got a call out of nowhere. It's Baby again. Come back to New Orleans. I'm putting together a group album. It's called Head Busters. I want you to be a part of it. I immediately went back to New Orleans. He's like, yo, I got your plane. I left. You know, it's 2 years later and the finances is there. Before I left, the office was a little bitty room with a computer desk. You know, I come back this time, it's Bentleys and Rolls Royces and everything. 4 days go by, 5 days. On the 5th day, I'm thinking, oh shit, I'm finna get back home. I'm not finna really go through this and be sitting here like this. Juvenile happened to walk the office. He was like, yo, Buck, what you doing there? I'm like, yo, Baby called me, said he putting together a group album. He said, how long you been there? I said, like 4 days. Juvenile said, yo, I can't promise you nothing, but I at least can promise you that you'll be heard on some projects that's coming out. And that's all I ever wanted was from anybody who's already established was to give me a fair opportunity, homie. If you're gonna call me in to be a part of your clique or whatever, at least throw me on something that's gonna be heard and let the world be the judge whether they like Buck or they say fuck Buck. Left for it, went straight back to the studio with Juvie and really never told Baby one word. Baby, the next time I seen Baby was 6 months later. It really wasn't no hard feelings. We spoke, shook hands. I had spent almost a year on the road with Juvenile just trying to make it happen. And he would make gestures, man, like, yo, man, y'all ever come across any opportunity out here, take advantage of it. People really don't make statements like that unless they don't have thoughts of making other moves. So I started applying myself for other things. 50 was already popping throughout the mixtapes by then, hard. I was already a fan of 50 Bucks, 6 Power to $1. And I was stressing to the bus driver because he was like, yo, I know how to get at him. And I was like, yo, Man, make it happen then. See what you can do. 50 ended up coming by the bus. He brought Yayo and Banks with him. One song I was playing for 50, he was crazy about it. Later on, that song ended up being Bloodhound on this Get Rich or Die Trying album. And that was probably the realest move I ever seen the individual make. For him to take and buy the record, he literally bought the record from me and put it on his album. Who the fuck is Young Buck at the time? But for him to have that much in him to feel like to gamble that much with me, I respected it to the utmost. And I really knew that that's really was the type of person I need to be revolving myself around, because he was so straight up. He never once told me nothing he'd do without doing it. He never lied to me. He kept it all 100, and that's all I asked for with being involved with anybody in business, homie, is to keep the shit real. You know, you ain't got to sugarcoat nothing for nobody or nothing. You don't have to lie to me or nothing. I'm a grown-ass man. Just keep it 100% in, and that's what 50 did. G-Unit! We in the building right now. Better go buy my fucking album straight out of Cashville, man. I got the concept from NWA straight out of Compton. I feel like out of that album, they established who they was. You knew that they felt like fuck the police. Kind of got an image of how they carry themselves, they dress, walk, talk, and I wanted to capture all of that with my solo project. I wanted to let you know where I'm from, what I'm about, the shit I've been through, shit I'm going through, and I think I'm gonna go through. So I work with producers like Lil Jon to add that crunk feel, DJ Paul from 666 Mafia, a few more Southern producers, Lil Flip and David Banner, T.I. You probably getting more down south features out of this record than you probably ever will on any G-Unit record. You stick to what you do. Don't let nobody tell you your shit's not right, because I'm a true example of some people saying that, yo, man, you can't spit, you can't, and all that. But for me to block all that out and stick to my roots, I'm good now, homie. So I can tell you that, you know what I mean, regardless if you stick to you, it'll be good. I'm telling you something that's real, you understand? Outside of that, ask that man to guide you through everything, and you're gonna be alright, man. Tell him I told you to. You know who this is, Young Buck, you understand me? And you get in the wrong, I'ma blow your motherfucking ass up. You heard me? With my homeboys from Blow, motherfucker.